Hey, it's Allie here. I'm going to teach you how to create a custom timer. And I'm going to use the app called Seconds. It's one I like. I use with all of my clients. And you can see here I've got the paid version, which just allows me to save all of my timers. When you do not upgrade to the paid version, you are forced to put in your information for each timer every time you open up the app. Inconvenient, but you can still use it. And it's super easy to use. So even with that little downfall, I will prefer this one over any other timer. Let's hit the plus sign up there in the top right and let's talk about how to create our own template. High intensity interval trainer or HIIT timers. Let's start with this one. When we open up this one, you're going to see that you have a high intensity and a low intensity option. That's just two exercises. Now we can name our timer. If you are not paying for it, not a big deal because that's going to erase it when you're done. But if you're paying for this and you want it to save, then maybe name it what it is. Just a 30-second, 60-second split. Number of sets is how many rounds you want to use or do with those two exercises. Once you get those in there, then we can go down and edit our high intensity and put in the 30 seconds. We'll also be able to change the color, just kind of making it fun. And then if you would like, you can also check the halfway point or halfway alert technically is what it's called. This is kind of nice because it lets you know when you're halfway, but with 30 seconds, it's really only 15 seconds in and it's going to pause your music all the time. It might be more frustrating, so feel free not to turn that on, but if you do, just check that little box right there and it will slide over. Okay. Then the low intensity, we want this for 1 minute. We'll put in 1 minute. We can change the color. Okay, we can also change the name of the interval. Low intensity maybe isn't very clear when you're out of breath and can't think. So maybe you want to change it to say stop. Again, customizable if you would like to do that. And then we can go back to the main screen. Now down here at the bottom, you'll also see that you can start with low intensity. That way it just starts with that intensity versus the high. Next, you can also see at the very top of your screen, it says HIIT timer 6 minutes and 30 seconds. That will let you know if you've got the right amount of sets. And if you click there, you can see here, it gives you a little preview. And rather than doing the math, you can just come in here and change the number of sets until you get it right. And once that timer at the top says how long you want, then you know you've got the right amount of sets. Don't do 111 sets. That would be forever. Okay, once you get that all in there, hit the back arrow up there in the very top left, and you are done customizing your HIIT timer. Okay, now let's hit the plus sign again and let's do a circuit timer. This is going to be maybe when you have a group of exercises back to back, not just the two for HIIT. And this could be whether you're doing with weights or cardio. So we're going to edit exercise 1 and we're going to put in, maybe we're doing it for 40 seconds. We're going to pick a color, kind of all the same concept. Mark halfway if we want to know when we're halfway there. And when we go back underneath exercise 1, you'll see where it has a little green plus sign and you can add an exercise. You do that, it immediately remembers that it's 40 seconds as well. You can check the halfway mark on that. It doesn't copy that part over, but everything else copies over. It also assigns fun colors to them. You can edit that though. And once you've got however many exercises you need, then great, you've got that all set up in there. Now, if you scroll down, we're going to click on rest in between intervals. This is how much rest you have in between each exercise. I'll do anywhere from 12 to 15, but really not too much more than that. 15 is pretty good, especially if you want to keep your heart rate up. Then rest between sets is like between the rounds as well. So once you get through all those exercises, how much time do you want before you have to do it again? A minute is generally what I do. Not too much longer than what your working time is. Now you'll see here that I can also edit a warm-up. I'll only put in a warm-up time if I need time to like hurry and start the timer and then run over to my exercises. Otherwise, I don't mess with that. Don't forget to edit the number of sets. Again, that can be like rounds, so that way it will repeat. Okay, and then when you click on your timer, this is what they look like, the color in the background, and you can see how much time you're doing it. If you turn your phone sideways, it does change the view just a little bit. Also at the very top, you can see how many intervals you have, how much time you have remaining and how much time has elapsed. And then to get out of it, there's an X on the bottom left, and then you are back to your home screen. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video on how to create a timer, and I hope you enjoy your workouts.